As is usual, I just saw the recording light go on. Thank you for that. So everybody should be aware that this meeting is being recorded. And I will go ahead and read the following emergency statement. As chair of the Pembroke School Board, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. We're utilizing Cisco WebEx for this electronic meeting. All members of the board have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through this platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in this meeting through dialing the following phone number. Just make sure I've got it right. 1-408-418-9388. And the password is on the website. It's 9SZNYJNEM82. Or by clicking on the following web address, sau53.org, select the remote school boards banner and click on today's date to get the login information. We also provide public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting. We previously gave notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting, including how to access the meeting using WebEx or through telephone. Instructions have also been posted or provided on the website previously mentioned, sau53.org. We're also providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are problems with access. If you have problems accessing the meeting, please email Sandy Valine, Valine, that's SVALINE at sau53.org. And we will adjourn the meeting if the public is unable to access. And that's important tonight as there's some storms going through. So if there are power outages, if you are a person that's on your computer and your power goes out, if you could please jump on your phone if possible and email Sandy. We certainly want everybody to be able to access the meeting. So in the event the public is unable to access the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done via roll call vote, and we'll start the meeting by taking roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there's anyone in the room with you during this meeting, which is required. April?
I'm present. I have no person in the room, but my cat is in the room with me.
Anne?
I have no one with me.
Amy?
I'm present and I have no one in my room either.
Jean?
Present, no one in my room.
Thank you, and this is Andy. I'm present and also alone. Before we get started, I wanted to just note there are a couple of agenda adjustments. Some things have been happening recently, so we will stick to the agenda as posted as closely as we can. There are some kind of sub points to the bigger points that are on that agenda. I don't think we need to spell all of those out, but the biggest change is that we will have need for non-public session under me with the letter, Patty.
A and B.
Thank you. So with that, we will open up
Andy,
to public
can I
comments.
just jump in? We've talked about this before, just explaining what that means. And real quick, letter A is the dismissal, promotion, compensation, or disciplining of an employee, the investigation of any charges against him or her. And was it B was the other one?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, B is the hiring of any public person as a public employee.
Thank you. So we will move
Andy,
on to agenda item 2A.
Andy,
Yes.
this is April. Before we open public comments, are we going to adhere to the 3-minute time limit and also ask our superintendent to be the timekeeper for that?
Yes, I would actually ask that we, be as brief as possible. There's only 10 minutes here. There's another 10 minutes at the end. So yes, we will adhere as closely as we can. Patty, do you mind keeping time?
Sure, happy to do that.
Thank you.
So with that, I'll open it up for public comment. I will, I guess, Chris, are you keeping an eye on stuff for us tonight? Can you see hand
Yep.
raises?
I can. So if folks put their hand up when they want to speak, I'm going to put them on a list, and we'll go with a first come, first serve. And I would just ask that when I give people the floor, that they put their hand down so I know who has spoken and who hasn't. So we
Okay.
do have one person whose hand has been up. That's Kelly Pearson. So Kelly has the floor.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. So I'm here tonight to advocate for all the children in Pembroke that everybody have access to their education this fall. And I'm asking the board to give options to parents because of the pandemic. I'm asking that no matter what we decide tonight, that there be 100% remote option for parents that feel that they're not safe to send their kids back. But I'm also asking that the board reconsider and offer a hybrid or 100% remote plan in the schools. I feel like Pembroke is very in a great place to offer this safely for our students, in that remote learning does limit which students can access their education. Remote learning, you need great internet access and you need a computer. And you need a learning style that goes along with remote. I feel that this is not offering everybody an education, and I'm asking that to offer an in-class option so that all students have the ability to learn this fall. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Alicia, you have the floor.
Yes, and I've vocalized this on social media, however I want to make it at least known here. In reviewing the plans, it was noted that they do not comply with the original request, and we understand there may have been some barriers to that. The original request being, as was stated by the previous person, options, so that there's fully remote option and fully in person at the same time as a possibility. I also noted in reviewing the plan that the in-person option removed the option for special services remotely. So if someone was participating in VLAX or some other option, that they couldn't then participate in special services remotely, which seems counterintuitive. So I would like both of those to be looked into, as well as additional mechanisms for the school to be able to provide not necessarily hybrid, because that puts people at additional risk with having to introduce other care providers, but having both options. And then additionally, when I go so far as to walk into the grocery store to get a cake for my ex's birthday, and I hear in the background someone say there's no way those two kids, when I mentioned kindergarten, there's no way those two kids could learn remotely in self-directed learning. It goes to show you just how little that remote would work for kindergarten. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stephen and Dawn, you have the floor.
Good evening. My name is Stephen Fisher. I'm here with my wife, Dawn. Also in the room is my daughter, who will be a junior at Pembroke Academy, Eliza, and my son, who will be a sophomore this year, Cooper. For this evening, our daughter would like to speak to the board and everybody that is present.
It's like, when I found out school was going back remote, I was very upset because at the end of the school year, I did not get or learn as much as I should have. I had probably, I would say, 3 teachers that actually were able to reach out to me and teach me, and I learned things from them. But other than that, I did not get what I should have, and that's why we need to go back to school. And I know that the board most likely either has a number or a percentage of students that fell behind or went radio silent when this all happened. And those students will soon be held accountable if we can get back in school, and they will still be learning just like we were before. There needs to be an option for us to get back in school, because I'm looking at colleges in the next couple of years, and I know all of my hard classes are coming up this year that I know really count for me, and I need to be in school getting the same learning opportunities that I would have, because having teachers say that I can reach out to them between 7:30 and 8:30 in the morning when I'm getting up, and then at nighttime when I'm sitting down and getting to eat dinner with my family and actually go to my after school activities that are taking place. Like, I don't have time for that. Teachers don't give us the right time that we need anymore because it works better for them. And we should, even if we have remote learning, we should still have block schedules. I know that's what Bow High School did, and all their students were held accountable for being able to show up to their remote learning classes. There are so many different ways to handle this instead of going 100% remote learning, and I'm just very disappointed with the way that the school board chose to handle this. So I really hope you reconsider.
Thank you. James Hamlin, you have the floor.
James, are you with us?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, James Hamline here. I have my wife in the room with me. I would like you to reconsider all remote also, because I think you're going about this 100% wrong. What you need to start with is the goal you want to achieve, which is all the students in the classroom. We start with that as the goal, and then we separate who is at risk and how do we educate those people, rather than everybody's at risk and everybody starts at home. I think we ought to start with what we want to achieve and work back from there on the best way to achieve that. Thank you.
Thanks.
I have Bridget Mercier on the floor next.
So this is actually Julia Denoncourt that's talking. I'm with Bridget, Cara Valley, and Kaylee Bolio. We are all upcoming seniors, and we heard a rumor saying that you guys are planning to split us by our last name of the alphabet. And all we ask is to go back to school with our class. We want our senior year together. We want to be together for the moments. Our first day of school, we want to celebrate that moment together. I grew with this class and I just want to be with my class. If you have to separate us, we ask that you keep our class together. And that's about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Next, I have Nick Pope.
Thank you very much for taking the time to hear me. Again, school board, really applaud you guys how you're handling this. I think it's definitely unfair that this type of decision is coming down on you. I am in support of a hybrid model with both. However, if that's not possible, I am supporting a full remote at this point in time. Again, the stance that I have on this, guys, is that this is not forever. This isn't going to be how it's going to work. And yes, while there could be some short-term setbacks, I really think about our community and what would happen if we move a little too quickly. So I believe you guys made the right choice the first time around, but my heart goes out to the people that need some school, right? And need that for their kids to be able to pay their mortgages and pay their bills. So I would love to see a mix there. But if that's not possible, my wife and myself definitely support starting the school year remotely. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris, how are we looking on number of hands?
At this moment, I have 3 people left on the list.
So
Make that 4.
Okay, let's take those 4, and then we're at our 10 minutes now. So we do have a heavy agenda here. So let's take those 4, and then let's move on.
Great. So next up on the floor is Debbie Macris.
Thank you for the time and listening to the public on this, what I think is an extremely important issue. I'd like to, say that I am very much in support of a hybrid. I saw how 2 of my kids suffered with a full remote, understanding full well it was more of an emergency situation, but there is definitely a decline in learning and engagement by these kids. looking at what Concord High School did over the summer in their commentaries about how they lost the attention of the remote students, I'm concerned that if we go full remote initially, that they're going to just lose that whole semester of learning. I understand and I believe that as numbers tick up, it may ultimately be required that we go to full remote. But I think if we have the numbers we have right now with what we're seeing around our community with 0 cases in Pembroke right now and 0 cases in Chichester right now, that our best option is to start with hybrid, continue for as long as we can so that these kids are engaged and that these kids are learning in the environment that they learn best in. And another suggestion I had, don't know if it's possible because I don't know how the classes or the teachers are situated with respect to the particular classes, but in line with what one of the students said earlier, I don't know if it's possible to say have seniors and juniors go on one day and sophomores and freshmen on another day. Don't know if that's feasible, but that might allow these 2 classes to stay together. Did I lose you?
Are we still connected?
I can hear you, Debbie.
I can hear people as well.
I can hear you as well.
I believe people lost power. We just lost power at our house. I believe there was some power outages.
Andy, this is Ann. Is it? I'm not getting any volume.
And I think it looks like Andy lost his connection, so I was just going to give him a minute to see if he can get back.
We
It was just me.
still have the same approximate number of participants, so we didn't lose a lot of people. It doesn't appear.
I'm just going to give him a couple of minutes. Andy and I talked about this earlier, that if we did lose people, we were going to try to give people a minute to get back on.
We just lost 40 people. We need to suspend.
Andy just asked me to wait a couple of minutes. He's powering back up, and I believe we may have to suspend the meeting, so we'll just wait for Andy just for a couple more minutes. He's powering back up.
Yep, I'm here. I got texts from April and a couple citizens that the power was out at their place, so it's 6:53 right now. I'm gonna try to wait until 7:03, and we'll see if we can continue at that point. And if we can't, we may have to postpone the meeting.
Thanks for the update, Andy. I'll stay tuned and stay by for a few minutes.
Andy, mine went out as well and it just came back, so they may be back soon.
We had a dip in attendance, and looks like people are coming back in.
For anybody that's just getting back in, I think we all had a little bit of a power glitch. I'm going to give it until 7:03 and see if we can pick it back up. If it gets to that time and you're a person that can hear me still for some reason, if you're on your mobile device or whatever, and you can let me know that the power is still out, that would be helpful.
Andy, this is Amy. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So
Yes.
just on the Eversource outage map, there are no outages listed directly in our area, but there's, like a green triangle for customers out as of 6/16, and that
Okay.
they're evaluating the outage.
Great.
I just let you know I'm back. This is
Welcome
Gene.
back, Gene. I missed you. I can hear you, but I'm not sure. I'm guessing that's Ann, but it's very choppy.
No, this is Ann.
Okay, then whoever that was, I could hear you somewhat.
An outage
Andy, this,
just popped up in our area for fewer than 5 people. That was at 6:37, and that's being evaluated also.
Andy, this is Sandy. I'm back.
Thank you.
And if we do have to postpone the meeting or end the meeting early because of the weather,
Sorry, Ann, I heard the beginning of that and then I lost you.
if we had to change the meeting or end the meeting early because of weather, when would we reschedule it?
We would have to try to talk about that really quickly. I mean, my opinion would be as soon as possible. We wouldn't meet 24 hours notice for tomorrow, so I would be looking for Thursday. But if board members have other commitments, we'll have to figure it out.
Thank you.
Andy,
Just to make good use of the time would be fine for me.
this is April. I could also meet Thursday evening.
And Jean, would Thursday happen to work for you?
Thursday works for Ann.
Holy cow. Everybody want to cross their fingers on what Jean's going to say? Jean, are you there?
Gene had to reboot, but he should be back on any second.
Okay.
Andy, this is April. I just received a text from someone who said that there's no power on North Pembroke Road and that Comcast is down as well.
Thank you. I'll ask if you don't mind, April. We'll wait till 7:03, and if you could message that person back and see if that's still the case, then as much as I don't want to, I think we'll have to.
Sure. I'm also going to ask them to, if possible, email in per what the governor's order says. Thank you.
Gene, are you back with us?
But I missed everything of what April had just said until the end.
Yeah, that's okay. So we're on pause until 7:03. She said that somebody texted her and let her know there's section North Pembroke Road that doesn't have any power. So if that's still the case at 7:03, we'll probably have to reschedule. Everybody else has said, well, the board members, I haven't asked the administration yet, but the board members have said that Thursday night would work for them. Are you available on Thursday? I don't know if anybody heard me.
This is Stephen Fisher. Ely Lane, Borough Road, North Pembroke Road are completely out of power, so we are on our phone, but that's not going to last long.
Okay, thank you. I think we're going to give it a couple of more minutes, and then we're probably going to reschedule. So
Thank you.
Gene, I'm sorry. I don't know if you heard me and I didn't hear you. Does Thursday night work for you?
Yeah, Thursday's fine.
Okay. Patty, can you get a feeling from admin if Thursday is feasible?
Sure, we can call on them one at a time. Dan, does Thursday work for you?
Yes, it does.
Wendy?
Yeah, Thursday works.
And John?
Thursday works.
Okay. Amber?
Yes, I can do Thursday.
Okay, and I will have to check with Josh Coughlin. He actually had to drive to Pembroke because some of our alarms were going off in our buildings. So I'll get back to you about Josh.
Okay. I do want to keep an eye out for just a couple of minutes because I would love to keep going tonight if we can. I doubt it, but let's give it to 7:03 like we said.
Josh is available on Thursday as well.
Great. Chris, did you happen to see what the top number was before all this?
Yeah, we were up to, I think it was 215. So we've lost about, looks like 19 people at this point.
Okay.
20-ish.
I think it was Steve that had just spoke that said he was in a location that had power. If you're still there and you can hear me, could you let me know if it's back on or still out?
I can still hear you. This is Stephen Fisher. There is still no power at the northern end of Pembroke.
Okay, thank you. So I think then, in accordance with the guidelines set forth by the governor for remote meetings, I think we are qualified to say that a portion of the public is not able to attend. And so I'm going to, I guess, ask for a motion to adjourn and postpone, with the plan being Thursday night, and we'll get something posted tomorrow morning.
Andy, this is Amy. I'll make a motion to continue this meeting to Thursday, August 6th at 6:30 p.m. with connection details to be provided in the future because of weather-related outages and the public not being able to, some of the public not being able to participate.
Thank you.
I'll second. This is Ann.
Thanks, Ann. On a roll call vote.
Oh, can we have just quick discussion?
Sure.
If someone's hand was up and they were in the queue to give public comment, will they give preference when we reconvene?
Yes, I think Amy's motion is to continue the meeting, so we won't go back to the beginning. We'll pick up with public comment. Chris, do you have those couple of names by chance?
I do, as well as 3 folks who put their name on the list after you had said we were going to move on. So I'll let the board make that decision when it's time.
Okay, if you could just shoot me those in an email, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All right, Ann?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Gene?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Meeting's adjourned at 7:03. Thank you all. I hope that you can all join us again on Thursday.